guys. So for my vlogging challenge for January, I decided to kind of bring back something I used to do, which is Listy Fridays. But since there are only 2 Fridays left in January, it's gonna be Listy videos. Yay! I'm in that Hugh Hefner swag today, like my new robe I got from Christmas. For today's Listy video, I got back in the habit of reading a little bit more, and I decided to go through my bookshelf and look at all the books that I haven't gotten around to reading yet, but that I will, eventually, although obviously I own them. I thought I'd share with you some of the books that I haven't read on my bookshelf. If you like, someday I will do a follow-up vlog of books I have read on my bookshelf. If you've given Bethy and Leslie, you guys have given me these books as gifts, please do not be offended that I haven't gotten around to reading them yet. I will, I swear, eventually. But as of right now, I have not. And I think the reason why I think we all have books on our shelves that occupy the shelves and haven't been read yet, because they're there, they're in reach. You know you're gonna get to them eventually. They're not books that you're unable to come back to or get a hold of. They're right there, so you always have the option of reading them. The first one, I know Leslie got this for me as a gift. It is Empty Inside, Kim, the diary of an anonymous teenager who had bulimia? Yes, bulimia. And anorexia nervosa. She got me this because I have a strange interest in people who have eating disorders. Last Summer of You and Me by Anne Brashares. She's the lady who wrote the Sister of the Traveling Pants series, and it was bought for me as a gift by someone, and they thought it was the last Sister of the Traveling Pants book, but it's not. But it was interesting, so I plan on reading it. Bethy got me this as a gift. It is Let It Snow. It's a collection of Christmassy, wintry stories by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. Mostly got this for me because I love John Green. The Blonde Geisha is a erotic tale about geisha. Now, I'm really particular about this because I don't like the connotation that geisha are prostitutes or are just prostitutes or whatever. But this looked interesting, and so I got it through Swaptree back when I was really into Swaptree. I have some old New York travel guides because I love New York City, but I haven't actually read them, and they're kind of old at this point. One's from 2006, one's from 2005, one's from 2007. But I figured there might be some stuff in there one day when I go to New York that might be interesting. Leslie very sweetly sent this to me in a care package. It's called Women of the Pleasure Quarters, The History of the Geisha. If you're noticing a theme, it's because I love geisha. So this book is a very strange and special book, but this is the Pre-Algebra Skills Problem-Solving Applications textbook from 1986. I'm pretty sure this was my mom's textbook, but I'm never ever gonna read this book, but I have it because I use it to like bear down on it a lot of the time, or I like write on this, or if I paint my nails, I paint my nails on this, or whatever. But I keep this around just for that reason. But it's just been there for a long time for me. This thing is older than I am. I think there's some books you have in your book collection that you're not ever gonna read, but you want to look through them sometime. And this is one of those. This is New York from Land and Sea and Air. If you are noticing another theme, I love New York City. This is My Life at Rose Red. Supposedly this is the diary of Ellen Rimbacher. I started reading it. There's a Stephen King book called Rose Red, and it's about this like haunted mansion place. This is the diary of the woman who the house was built for, and I guess it chronicles like her descent into being consumed by the house, because I guess she disappears and then they never found her. Stories That Scared Even Me by Alfred Hitchcock. The complete work of Edgar Allan Poe. This is Major Tales and Poems by him. Pandora by Anne Rice. I got through Interview with a Vampire. I have that. And Queen of the Damned. And then The Vampire Lestat, I think I read. And then Pandora, I've always really been interested in this installment of the Vampire Chronicles, but I haven't got around to reading it yet. This is the sequel to the book Peeps by Scott Westerfield. It's really good. And this is called The Last Days. And I got it as a gift for Christmas. A collection of poems by Mrs. Browning, famous poet Emily Browning. This is her, like, a complete set of works of her poems. So this needs a little bit of backstory. I had a grandfather who was a very avid reader, and he had a whole huge shelf of books, but he also collected these Reader Digest books, and he had like a lot of classics. And when he died, and we sold the house that we were living in that was his, a lot of his books got burnt for some stupid reason. But I gathered up as many of them as I could, and I kept them. And a lot of them I'm probably not going to read, but I kind of keep them around because they're kind of a reminder of him. But I have Around the World in 80 Days, Gift of the Magi. I read when I was like real young, but I didn't care for it, but I have it. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Other Tales. Treasure Island. The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. Leslie, I actually gave you The Hound of the Baskervilles book that was like the companion to this, and so it was one of my grandfather's books. Huckleberry Finn, Oliver Twist, Kidnapped, House of the Seven Gables, and then there was this, I have the sequel, it's the sequel to Gone with the Wind. It's called Scarlet, and it's in here. I don't know if it's the whole thing or an excerpt. I have Gone with the Wind, but I haven't gotten through it. The Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare. Hollywood Babylon. This is an interesting book. It has some of like the seedier tales of old Hollywood. And there's even some like murder photos, like the Jane Mansfield car accidents in this, I think. Leslie, I think you might like this, actually. Leslie got this for me as a gift because I really wanted it for a long time, because the Vlog Brothers talked about it, but I just haven't gotten to read it yet. But I'm so glad she got it for me. It's the Evil Woman of History book. This, I'm a little embarrassed that I have this, but whatever. How Psychic Are You book. And it's about, how to tell if you're psychic and discovering your psychic style and harnessing your energy and healing power of color. Leslie got this book for me too, as a gift. It's Letters to Juliet, and it looked really cool. For those of you who don't know, probably do, there's a wall in the city of Verona where Romeo and Juliet takes place, and people actually write letters to Juliet and put them inside the wall for, I guess, like, almost like she's a saint. These are some of the letters that were in the wall, so I thought that was really cool. So that is my list of books on my shelf that I haven't read yet. I'm sorry if I've offended you, Leslie or Bethany. I really do love when you guys get me books. But I'll have some more lists for you guys next week. Love you guys. Bye. Guess who learned speak? Kit. Speak. Yay! Good boy!